Today we're going to set up your egress system. So this is a typical shipment for a one-plate egress system. You have your force plate and your tripod, your bag of accessories, and your TV. One thing to note, especially if you're a company that has multiple systems, first double check these yellow tags, and underneath this flap will list the serial number for that case. So in this case, all of these cases have the same serial number, and that's important. All right, the first thing you want to set up is the tripod. Comes in this long bag. The tripod has a pin. You want to locate the pin in one of these holes. You don't want to rely just on the clamp. So make sure the tripod's weight when the TV is mounted is resting on the pin, then you can go ahead and tighten this clamp. So grab the TV case. Carefully remove the TV. The TV has a bracket on the back that mates to the bracket on the tripod. So make sure the two dovetails align. It snaps into place. Since it's a new system, it has plastic over the TV. If this is your system, you can go ahead and remove that plastic. Next, you grab the accessory bag. Inside this bag, you'll find a tray, and a tray clamps to the tripod. Next, you grab the computer out of the bag. And you set the computer onto the tray on the stand. Now, the computer is battery operated, but you can also plug in the adapter, AC adapter. Next, you want to grab the controller and remove it from its case. And that can be either set on the ground or positioned behind the laptop. In this case is also the cable that hooks up to the controller. So on the front of the controller is a USB port that mates to this connector. The USB connection, take the connector, look at the alignment in the mating connector, align, press in, and this connector doesn't screw all the way tight, just make sure it's snug. The other end of the cable plugs into the laptop, into the USB port, which is on the side. You need one of the controller cables. These cables, depending on whether you have one system, one force plate, or two force plates, the ends of the cable are different. One's male, one's female. So in our case, we're going to plug into one single channel. So mating to the controller, this controller has two channels. We want to use channel 1. And again, removing the cap will expose the pins mating to this connector. Again, try to align them axially very well, and then rotate it until the keyway drops into place. and then go ahead and screw the collar in. Now, if you're at a remote location where you don't have AC connections, you do have the option of running off the battery of the vehicle that you're testing with. And here's where we have an inverter that we can attach directly to the battery. It has clips inside, and we can plug the extension cable into this inverter and therefore power both the TV and the laptop off of the vehicle. Alternatively, you can just use the extension cable and go ahead and plug to an AC outlet nearby. Now, this cable does have a circuit breaker, so after you do plug it in, you will want to reset the circuit breaker for it to provide power to the TV and the laptop. So in the laptop case is also an HDMI cable, and that cable is used to connect the television on HDMI 1 which is along the back side of the television, to the HDMI port on the laptop. Now, again, you can power the system using the inverter off the battery of the vehicle, but if for any reason you don't have access to that or can't access that power, you can go ahead and do egress training just using the laptop and just not running the television. The last piece is adding the force plate. That's in its gator case. You rotate the two clasps and then go ahead and remove the lid and carefully lift the force plate out using the handles. So after you position the plate next to the vehicle, make the connection to the extension cable coming from the controller box. So to make the connection, if this end of the cable has a cap on it, remove the cap, and it should be exposing the pins of the connector, which mates to this side. And make sure that you get these two connectors very axial when you make the connection. If you go ahead and try to connect it this way and force it, that can be detrimental to the connector. So if I align the two and then I rotate until it drops into place, now I can screw the collar in tight. And now you have a positive connection.